Good morning, everyone. I wonder how many of you have seen Bambi, that wonderful Disney animation from way back in the 1940s. If you haven't seen it, I do heartily recommend it to you, whatever your age. Yes, I know it has that one very sad scene, but it also has that scene where young Bambi is trying to stand and walk. And Thumper says, "He doesn't walk very good, does he?" And Thumper's gentle mother remonstrates with him and says, "What did your father tell you?" And Thumper remembers. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Well, my goodness, if only the whole world could watch the film Bambi and learn from this. What a different world it would be. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. I know that at Hampton Court House we want to build a school where no one is unkind, where no one has to worry about being laughed at, where we are all free to breathe the same air. And we cannot talk too often about this, for these things must be discussed openly, in plain sight, rather like the issues relating to Black Lives Matter or to Islamophobia, homophobia, and frankly any other issue which has the potential to undermine our community. And so ask yourself, have you, perhaps unthinkingly, been unkind to another in your class this term? Perhaps someone didn't get chosen for a particular activity and you made a comment. Perhaps someone likes music you think is uncool. Did you make an uncalled for comment? Perhaps someone's been moved from one set to another or from one year group to another. Have you ever made a stupid, cruel, personal comment because, I don't know, someone wears glasses, is overweight or anything else? Frankly, each of us, each and every one of us, has something about which we are sensitive. And what none of us wants is for someone else to pick on that tender underbelly, that raw nerve. And so we have to all ask ourselves what kind of person we are. It's perhaps harder today because we live in a world where people do abuse each other, not least on social media, including many very high-profile people. So we need to stand back and ask, well, with all this going on around us, what kind of person do we choose to be? Certainly out there, it seems that abusing other people is almost a career option for some, leading to clickbait and monetarization. But it really needs to be called out for the evil that it is. And at Hampton Court House, I'm clear, and I'll say this again, we are all subtly influenced by the culture of the school, the quality, the cleanliness of the water in which we all swim. And in recent months, when we've all been distanced, and as we approach the end of the academic school year, it is, I think, important to take stock and take pride in still having a community. And I know this. Only yesterday I received, just wonderful messages from some children in year 1 and year 2 all the way through to year 12. There's nothing more lovely than being communicated with and having thoughts shared with you. And so, yes, it does. We are still a community, looking out for each other, caring for each other, wishing each other well, wanting the best for each other. Frankly, we all have enough to do, all of us, focusing on our own growth and development without offloading our frustrations onto other people with unkind, throwaway comments. I know from my own experience, but also from listening to many, many children over the last 30 years of how painful, how hurtful, how stinging comments from other students can be. And I know adults who still carry the pain, the scars from their school days with them. They may be 60, 70 years old, but they still remember the teasing, the taunting, the exclusion. The open wound is still there in their hearts. And so there's no way of beating around the bush here. How nice a person are you? Are you someone who, as a habit, makes throwaway, unkind comments about others, who puts down others to make yourself feel better, who's jealous of others' successes and talents, who jumps on someone with a weakness or vulnerability because that makes you feel strong? In these pandemic times, we are not seeing each other as often, and it is much, much harder to really know what is going on in another's head, in another's family. All we see is that little box on Zoom. And you don't really know what life is like for others in your class, what their strains and stresses are. And so be kind, be actively supportive. And you'll get it all back as others learn to trust you and in turn to be a friend to you. Of course, it's true that we all need to, in life, we all need to develop a tougher skin. We need to be able to absorb the bricks and stones that do get thrown at all of us in life. But resilience is a trait that ideally we learn gradually during childhood and with loving support. It should never be forced with, dislocated onto us when we are children. So this is the simple message for today. Never say anything unkind about another person. And if you are an older brother or sister, that means not rubbishing your younger siblings' efforts or putting them down or telling them they're stupid. How powerful it is when you say, hey, that is such a great drawing, or wow, you played so well to beat me at table tennis, well done, or most powerfully of all, I'm so proud of you that you are my sister or my brother. There are times when we need to provide feedback, but this is a skilled process, and there is a difference between saying that was a mean thing to say and you are a mean person. Two very different things. The difference is huge. So take care with blanket and untrue generalizations. Focus on the actual behavior, if you must, but not the person. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it is that as we slowly ease our way, carefully and responsibly out of lockdown, if we are to do this safely and with the well-being of others in mind, not just their physical well-being, but their emotional, mental well-being, we must do so thinking of others and each of us playing our part in living each and every moment of our days decently and with kindness. I wish you all just a wonderful, wonderful day.